So hello and yes, welcome back to another video, guys. So yes, today I'm going back another year and I'm going to be talking about films from 2016. Why am I only just talking about my least to best films from 2016? Number one, I enjoyed doing my least to best films 2017 so much, I thought I want to do another list like this. Number two, of course, this channel wasn't operating back in 2016. So anyway, here we go. I've seen just over 30 films, so I'm going to try and go quick, so I don't want it to be too long a video. I own all the films apart from the bottom three I'm going to show you, because I didn't like these films, so I didn't buy them, or I did buy them when they come out and then sold them, because I didn't like them. So anyway, let's get started. So my least favourite film from 2016 that I saw is Zoolander 2. Yeah, Ben Stiller decided to do another one. For some reason, the first Zoolander film got remembered. I don't know why. So the first one was just okay at best. And then for some reason they thought, hey, let's do another one for a very average, mediocre film. And it was horrible. So yeah, Zoolander 2 is my least favourite film. Then I'm going to move on to the Ghostbusters remake. So everyone just knows it as Ghostbusters 2016. Yeah, Melissa McCarthy's awful in it. Kristen Wiig is absolutely dreadful in it. She's one of the worst actresses I think I've ever had to watch in a film. She's horrible in it. Chris Hemsworth is wasted. The only good person who pops up in it is Charles Dance, and he's only in it for a minute. So yeah. The next film up that I want to talk about is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, I think it's called. Yeah, it felt very much like a Transformers film, of course, being directed by Michael Bay. Megan Fox was once again useless in it, and she was just there as eye candy to us males. Yay! The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles themselves were annoying. They were not very heroic. They were very boring. There were wasted characters in it, such as the Shredder and Crane. Bip Bop and Rocksteady, also ridiculous, like pathetically bad. So yeah, I don't know what I can say about that film, really. It's just bad. Anyway, every film here on, I do actually own on Blu-ray. Even these crappy films at the bottom. I bought them when they come out because I didn't see them in cinema, and kept them because I did. So I kept this one because I really loved the slip, I'm not going to lie. So the next film up that I want to talk about is Sausage Party. Yeah, Seth Rogen thought, I'll do something really innocent after the interview and do an animated film. Just show the slip off here a bit. Love that. It's not very innocent. It's actually very disturbing at the end. A lot of the jokes fall flat on their face. Again, Kristen Wiig, she can't even voice act good. She's terrible in it. Seth Rogen can't voice act well. Poor. But there were others that were good. Danny McBride was good for the 2 minutes he was in it. Jonah Hill was good. Michael Cera was good. James Franco, I didn't really recognise James Franco, so he did a decent job. Okay, then we've got very disappointing Independence Day Resurgence. I really like the original Independence Day from the 90s. It's a really good film, but this second one fell flat on its face. Jeff Goldblum completely wasted. Liam Hemsworth, I mean, just saying, your brother's doing a lot better. Even though, you know, Ghostbusters landed lower on the list, but, you know, he does that superhero, don't he? There were things, they completely ruined the original in a way by bringing back certain characters and then killing off other characters from the original. It just serves no justice to the original at all. Next up is a Disney film. This was Disney's flop of last year. It seems like every year Disney kind of have a flop. So far in 2018, it looks like it's A Wrinkle in Time. But for 2016, it was definitely Alice Through the Looking Glass. Yeah, this film was just bad. I mean, the lead actress, Mia Wasikowska, I think that's how you say it, absolutely dreadful in it. She cannot lead the film to save her life. She was awful in the first one, but at least the first one was watchable. Johnny Depp is pathetically bad in this. He's absolutely awful. It's such a shame that this is Alan Rickman's last film. It really is. The only ones who were good in it were Sacha Baron Cohen and Helena Bonham Carter was good in it. Of course, playing the villains. But that's about it. That's the best I can say there. Next up, surprising, it's not right at the bottom because I love to destroy this film. Suicide Squad. Yeah, it's not quite stupidly as bad as the films below it. It's just so disappointingly bad. The trailers look good. The cast, I mean, Will Smith and Margot Robbie and Viola Davis all do great jobs. Them three do great. Everyone else sucks. The story is pathetically bad. The comedy is awful. The CGI is terrible. The pacing, the editing of this film is absolutely diabolical. The soundtrack is embarrassing. But the action scenes are kind of fun. The action scenes are fun. I will give them that. Next up is a film I thought I'd hate. I didn't really like it, but it was alright. This is where the films go from being bad to alright, I'll say. And that's Warcraft, The Beginning. Look at that, that's a beautiful slip. Yeah, you kind of feel a bit sorry for the director of this because his father was David Bowie and he passed away like during the editing stages, so his mind was probably taken back a bit here. Yeah, the CG's alright. It's alright. There's scenes where it's awful and there's scenes where it's good. The acting is pitiful, but it's a weird film. I liked everything other than the wizard part of it. I knew they'd struggle to make Warcraft into a film because it doesn't look like it's getting a sequel. The Beginning. Should have put the only one. Next one up is the first of 2 Illumination animation pictures which come out in 2016. And none of them have minions in, thank God. But it weren't much better. Secret Life of Pets. Yeah, why this film was so huge in America, I don't know. We Europeans definitely got it right on this one by not making it a humongous hit. Whereas in America, you guys soaked it up. I know it's a kids' film. People were taking their kids and whatnot. Fun, innocent film. But, come on, take them to a Pixar film or something. It's alright. The voice acting's good. I really like that they took the guy from Modern Family, the kind of tubby one. He done a great job voice acting in this. Kevin Hart done a really good job, actually. And also, I forget the name of the actress. She voiced Harley Quinn in the Lego Batman movie. And the bunny in Zootropolis, and she voices the little dog in here. She's got a great voice for animation. Fantastic. The story, though, was a complete rip-off of Toy Story. And the animation, again, just generic for today's standards. Okay, next, again, a very disappointing film. This is a very bland, middle-of-the-road film, and it's such a shame because it come off 2 great films. X-Men Apocalypse. I loved First Class, and I absolutely adored Days of Future Past. I couldn't wait for this. I couldn't wait to see Oscar Isaacs play Apocalypse. I couldn't wait to see the addition of Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones as Jean Grey. And to see another Quicksilver scene, I thought it was going to be great. This film was boring as hell. The pacing was awful. The story was awful. Apocalypse was meant to be the Thanos of the X-Men, and he got taken down so easily. Not a good film. And here comes what is potentially the most disappointing film of all time to some people. Not to me, because I didn't really care about it too much to start with. We've got Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Again, awesome slip. Some people really love it. They stick up for it biasly, I might add. Some people absolutely hate it like it's the worst film ever made. I think that's too harsh. There's problems with this film, like the pacing is dreadful. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor is awful. There are bits in the story which are rushed and don't make sense. But Henry Cavill is great. Ben Affleck is great. You know, Superman and Batman themselves, I think, are really good for the majority of the film. Wonder Woman is shoehorned in. She shouldn't have been there. The Dawn of Justice part, they should have scrapped all of that. Visually, it's fantastic. The visuals are incredible. It looks fantastic. Other than maybe... can't think of his name. I can't think of his name at the minute. Oh, I'm going brain dead. I do know his name. Doomsday. Yeah, Doomsday. He looked awful. Zack Snyder is a great cinematographer. The cinematography in it is fantastic. He's not a fantastic director. Hans Zimmer did a great job, though, with the score. Finding Dory's next. Yeah, this one kind of annoyed me because this was my childhood in a nutshell. Finding Nemo is my favourite Pixar film. Spoilers, because I probably will do a least the best Pixar film at some point. But yeah, I really felt this film was unnecessary when they were promoting it. I was like, it looks alright, but it really feels unnecessary to me. Really feels forced. Then I watched it and I felt exactly the same. I was like, yeah, it was forced. Didn't need it. The first half hour is painful, and then the film kind of lightens up as a friendly kids film, and it's fine. It's good to watch. It's okay. It's enjoyable, but doesn't come anywhere close to the original. And then we got a film which kind of come and went and is very forgettable. The Legend of Tarzan. So yeah, it's okay. It's got some great actors in. Margot Robbie, you know, fantastic. Sam Jackson, really good. Christoph Waltz, probably the best performance I've seen from Christoph Waltz outside of a Quentin Tarantino film, because every other director struggles with Christoph Waltz. They see how good he is in Quentin Tarantino films. They're just like, we'll let you do it all. But they still need to guide him as an actor. Directors, for some reason, don't want to do that with him. And then here we've got the second Illumination animation film, Sing. This was better than Secret Life of Pets, definitely, because the story was more interesting, the characters were more interesting. However, the problem with this film is, again, it's just a very misleading film. You never know which one's the main character, which character's going to stand out the most. Because at one minute you're rooting for Matthew McConaughey as the koala bear. And then you're over to the gorilla, who you think is going to be the main one. And then it's the elephant. And then it's Seth MacFarlane as the little mouse. And then we're on to the pig. And then we're on to the hedgehog. And oh, it's just very confusing as to who the main character is, who you're meant to root for. But it's an okay film. Okay, so where are we at now? We're up to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. This is number 17. Star Trek Beyond. Yeah, I really loved the first Star Trek of the reboots. It's an incredible film. Really good. The second one's pretty good as well. It's not quite as good as the first. And then this one just drops off even more. It's weird. I don't really know how to talk about this film. It just felt very unnecessary. It's like they could have built up a better story. The build-up to this film was not good. I don't even know who directed this. Justin Lin. Nowhere near as good as J.J. Abrams. I know some people really hate J.J. Abrams because he touched Star Wars, but yeah, J.J. Abrams definitely did a better job. Visually, it's fantastic though. Visually, it's great. But again, the characters, I get confused. I kept on getting lost with which characters were where, because they're all split up, and you're not relating to any of them as much in this film. Okay, so next film up, people absolutely adored this film. They loved it to bits. I was more in the middle. I thought it was good. This is a good film. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. But I don't think it's great. That's Arrival, starring Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner. I like this film. It's good. But I wasn't shouting about it like everyone else was when it came out. Okay, so I believe this is number 15, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so we're in the top 15 now. Here we go. Number 15 is going to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, starring Eddie Redmayne, of course. And yeah, it's a really fun family film. It's a great addition to the Harry Potter universe, I think. Yeah, it's a really fun film. Really fun. Number 14 is going to Kubo and the Two Strings. Visually, this stop motion thing is fantastic. You know, it's not quite as good as Wes Anderson's take on stop motion with Fantastic Mr. Fox and Isles of Dogs. But it's still really, really good. Really good. Put out by Universal. The voice acting, you know, from Charlize Theron to Matthew McConaughey is great in it. The only issue with this film is the story just generally doesn't make a whole load of sense. And there are bits in the film which happen and don't get explained. So there are flaws in the film, that's for sure. But it's just such a beautiful film. Number 13 is going to Kung Fu Panda 3. It's funny, with DreamWorks, I thought Kung Fu Panda would go down the route of Madagascar, where they got worse. Not down the road of How to Train Your Dragons, where they just stay continuously great. Kung Fu Panda continuously stays great. I love the first one. The second one was also a lot of fun. Third one's really good as well. Great story. You relate to the characters well. Beautifully animated. Great film. Okay, so my number 11 and 12, so this one and the next one, can be swapped around. I didn't know what order to put them in. Number 12 is going to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is an awesome film. I love this film. This is where the films go from being good to really good. This was really fun. Benedict Cumberbatch was not only born to play Sherlock, he was born to play Doctor Strange. Because I feel like Hollywood casts Benedict Cumberbatch for the sake of it, like, as Khan. He didn't need to play Khan. Same with Smaug. He didn't need to voice Smaug. But yes, he did need to play Doctor Strange. It's a really fun film. The visuals are fantastic. Doctor Strange is the most unique superhero on the big screen at the minute. He's fantastic. His cape is awesome. His powers are awesome. However, for his first standalone film, the story was very generic. The story was very Iron Man 1, just like Marvel always do for their debut superhero films. The villain was pretty terrible as well. But I do kind of enjoy it more than this next film. But this next film I find a lot more groundbreaking. And that is Deadpool. I much prefer watching the character of Doctor Strange, I can't lie. But Deadpool, this is the first bad-mouthing superhero. And I'm so pleased they finally got Deadpool right, because I really didn't think they would get Deadpool right when they announced this film. But surprisingly, they did. It's a really fun film, really funny, really well acted. Ryan Reynolds does a great job. But it falls into the same category of Doctor Strange. Very generic story and a pretty bad villain. It's very similar to Doctor Strange in that aspect. Here we go, top 10. I'm doing a drum roll by clapping. That's embarrassing. My 10th favourite film of 2016 is Zootropolis. I know some people are going to say Zootopia, but they didn't say Zootopia once in the film, whereas they said Zootropolis like 50 billion times. So it's Zootropolis. I'm going to stick by that. Great film. Again, the voice acting is really well done. This film is very important. It touches on a lot of issues which are important. You know, it touches on them in a subtle way, in a kid-friendly way. And it's great because you need to make sure your kids see this film, I'd say. What? The dogs come over. What do you want? Hey? What do you want? I'm doing a video. Of course she comes over because it's Zootropolis. Yeah, it's an important film because it touches on a lot of issues in subtle ways because it's an animated film and it's for animals. So it's important that kids see this film because they'll pick up on these issues in very small ways here. And it's a beautiful film, beautiful story as well. Number 9, I feel bad putting this film at number 9 and not in the top 5. That's Captain America Civil War. I went to the midnight premiere for this film. That's how excited I was for this film. It's a great film, really good. The acting from Robert Downey to Chris Evans, to Jeremy Renner, to Scarlett Johansson, to Tom Holland. It's fantastic. It's a great film, really funny. The action sequences are great. And any other year, if this film came out in 2015 or 2017, it'd break the top 5. It's just 2016 was such a good year for films. Probably my favourite year for films lately. It's just fallen short a little bit. The problems I have with this film is the pacing's way off at times in this film. It's got some really dull moments at the start where the story really drags. It picks up in the second half a lot. And this is the last film where Marvel did this, because their next film was Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where it was a drastic change. It's very grey looking. And I know that this is quite a dark film and it's supposed to be grey looking, but like even Iron Man's suit, the colours don't pop at all. It's a very dull film to look at. Number 8, it's going to La La Land. I love this film. It's such an entertaining film. The soundtrack to it is fantastic. The acting from Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone is incredible. Absolutely incredible. The visuals are fantastic. It feels like you're watching a play. Pacing's great. It's such a good film. Really is. A really fun watch. Okay, where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 7 is going to the live-action Jungle Book. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There it goes. Loved it. The animation, or the visuals. There's not really animation. The live-action, the animated animals looked fantastic. Absolutely incredible. The voice acting as well was incredible. Especially Ben Kingsley was absolutely incredible. Bill Murray was also fantastic. The little boy in it, well, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Oh, he's got a very strange name. Anyway, the little boy in it, he was great. It's such a well-paced film. It's probably the funnest film after the next film I'm going to show that come out last year. Or 2016. Last year was 2017 now. Great film. Really good. So number 6, just missing out the top 5, is Moana from Disney. Their animated film. The last animated film for a while now. Oh, no, we get Wreck-It Ralph 2 this year. I forget about that one. Oh, I love this film so much. The music in it was great. The pacing was great. The visuals. This is the most beautiful film I've ever seen. Like, alongside Blade Runner 2049. It is so beautiful to watch. The animation is incredible. The voice acting is fantastic. Everything about this film is fantastic. It is the best family film that come out of 2016. So if you're sitting around the fire at Christmas and you want a good film to watch, Moana is a fantastic pick. Okay, so the top 5, here we go. We've got Eddie the Eagle. I looked at it a bit funny though, because I was trying to look at how I'm going to pronounce the main guy's name. Taron Egerton. Taron Egerton, who is most well known for the Kingsman films, and of course he voiced the gorilla in Sing, which we just talked about. He's really good in this film, fantastic, best performance he's ever given. Hugh Jackman, of course, in this is absolutely amazing. I love Hugh Jackman, you know, you guys know how much I love The Great Showman and Logan. Hugh Jackman is absolutely incredible in this film. It's a really, really well-paced story. Film, and the story is, of course, it being on a true story, it just makes you feel so much more attached to these characters. It's a really heartbreaking film at times, and it is just fantastic. I absolutely love it. Number 4 is going to Hacksaw Ridge. Who knew Mel Gibson could direct so well? Well, now we do. It's fantastic. Andrew Garfield is also fantastic in this. Vince Vaughn is also great in this film. I haven't seen Vince Vaughn in a good film in ages, so that was really good. Sam Worthington, surprisingly, is really good. He's not normally good in films, but he's very good in this. There are some cheesy bits at the start, I'm not going to lie, but it's such an impactful film and such an emotional film. And when Mel Gibson directs those action sequences where the Japanese absolutely slaughter the Americans at the top of Hacksaw, it is incredibly well shot. It is so brilliant to watch. It really puts you there. It is great. So number 3, my third favourite film of 2016 is 10 Cloverfield Lane. Yes, the Cloverfield trilogy at the minute. You know, it started off with 2 amazing films, then we had a but this one was incredible. The suspense to it was absolutely phenomenal. It really is a fantastic film. You get so attached to all 3 characters. You know, John Goodman, you never know what he's going to do. Is he good? Is he bad? What's he going to do? Well, I don't know how to root for this guy. Incredible film, incredible directing, incredible pacing, incredible editing, incredible visuals. It's an incredible film. And my second favourite film of 2016 is Nice Guys. I adored this film. Ryan Gosling, knocking it out of the park. He picks the best films. You know, incredible. Russell Crowe, also really, really good at it. And the young blonde actress in it, whose name I forget. She was in Spider-Man Homecoming. She's got another film coming out where she dates a boy who changes his appearance every day. I forget what that one's called as well. But she's fantastic in this film. She's got a bright career ahead of her. I can't speak now because I'm talking so much. Yeah, she's fantastic. This film is the most fun film I've seen in ages. It reminds me of The Wolf of Wall Street without the sex and drugs. It's great. It's so much fun. I absolutely adore the film. And my number 1... I couldn't have not put this at number 1, guys, so I do apologise. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I'm really trying not to be Star Wars biased, because I didn't put Star Wars at number 1 in 2017. I put it as second, but I've seen another film now, Coco, from 2017, which we also put Last Jedi back another spot. So Last Jedi is currently my third favourite film in 2017. And I'm not sure I'd say The Force Awakens was my favourite from 2015. So I'm really not being Star Wars biased, I don't think. But I am a little bit with this one, because this one really reminded me of my childhood, because I grew up watching The Empire and Darth Vader and Tarkin. And to see all of that was fantastic. These characters felt like Star Wars characters. Krennic was an incredible villain. Fantastic. Jyn Erso was a really good lead. Sol Guerrero coming in from the Clone Wars. I've watched the Clone Wars, seeing that was fantastic. The battle on Scarif was insane. Vader's lightsaber bit at the end was incredible. There's so many good things about this film. Gareth Edwards done an incredible job with this. I really wish Gareth Edwards was doing a trilogy for Star Wars as well, to be honest, because he's done such a good job with this. This film is fantastic. I absolutely adore it. I couldn't not put it at number 1, because every time it comes on, I have the best time watching it. But anyway, that is my list of my least to best films that I've seen in 2016. Of course, I'll probably see more at some point, and of course, you guys are going to disagree, because you've all got your own opinions. You've all seen other films which I haven't. So let me know what your favourite films from 2016 were in the comments below. But thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave a message, and I will see you guys next time for another video.